I remember the morning like it was tattooed on my brain. A cold, crisp October sunrise peeked through my bedroom window. My hands trembled slightly as I logged into the college board portal. This was it, the moment my entire future hinged on. My SAT scores were finally live. I was a senior, second in my class, and gunning for a full-ride scholarship to one of the most competitive universities in the country. I'd studied every night, sacrificed weekends, skipped parties, and even taught myself advanced math when our school's teacher gave up, but when the page loaded, my stomach dropped. Score, unavailable. Your results are under review. What? Under review? I clicked the help button, then the support email. No answers. Just vague responses and form emails saying, your results are under standard investigation. That was the moment everything started to unravel. A week passed. Then too. My college application deadlines loomed closer. I called the college board's hotline again and again, only to be met with robotic apologies. Finally, after a month of silence, I got a letter in the mail. We regret to inform you that your SAT scores have been invalidated due to testing irregularities at your test center. Testing irregularities? I took the test at a local high school with 40 other students. No one cheated. No one even whispered. But according to their letter, my entire test center was being flagged due to possible security breaches. I wasn't the only victim. Dozens of us had our scores erased, our futures tossed aside like misprinted scantrons. But I was the only one who wasn't going to let it go, because I knew something they didn't. I had a recording. The proctor, a middle-aged man who barely stayed awake through the exam, had made a call during our break. I caught it on a voice memo I accidentally recorded on my phone. He was talking to someone, mentioning that the tests were going to be recycled and resold. I didn't understand at the time. But I dug deeper. I searched forums, whistleblower threads, Reddit pages, even dark corners of Discord. That's where I found a post titled, "The College Board Black Market." A user, claiming to be a former employee, explained how high-scoring test sheets were occasionally sold to wealthy overseas clients for under-the-table fees. Apparently, test sheets were sometimes scanned, recycled, and illegally reused in foreign testing centers, boosting international applicants' scores in exchange for bribes. The post was old. No one believed it, but I did, and I was going to prove it. I started small. A burner Reddit account. A series of posts asking others if they'd had their scores randomly invalidated. The responses flooded in. Students from Texas, California, Florida, even India and South Korea, all took the SAT around the same time. All had test irregularities. All had top scores. All were erased. It wasn't a glitch. It was a system. I pulled every thread. I used VPNs to scour college board servers. I enrolled in online ethical hacking courses and learned to read backend scripts. Over weeks, I traced the serial numbers of test booklets that should have been destroyed, but weren't. I even found screenshots, leaked PDFs of past SATs that hadn't yet been released. Exact matches. They were selling real tests before the test dates, and erasing the scores of students who had access to the originals, without telling them. I gathered it all: the audio, the Reddit data, the server leak, the financial statements I scraped off hidden links, even a recording from another student whose counselor admitted, off the record, that College Board had quiet backdoor deals with overseas recruiters. But exposing this? That was a death sentence. Not literal death, but academic exile. Lawsuits. Retaliation. Ruined reputation. I was just 17, with no money, no lawyer, and barely a working laptop. So, I didn't go to the media. I went to an ally. Her name was Jasmine. Online, she went by Hex Kitten. We met through a subreddit called Justice for Students. She was 19, an expelled CS student from MIT who now ran a rogue digital justice blog. Think Robin Hood meets Mr. Robot. When I showed her the evidence, she said just 4 words: we burn them down. Jasmine launched a site the next week, collegescam.org. A whistleblower repository, evidence vault, and anonymous leak portal. We released the evidence drip by drip. First, the reused test packets, then, the invalidated student map, finally, the audio clip of the proctor casually discussing reselling premium answers. The site exploded. It hit Reddit, then TikTok, then CNN. By the end of the week, #CollegeBoardScam was trending worldwide. The College Board responded with fury. They denied everything. Called the evidence deepfaked. Threatened lawsuits. Claimed hackers had manipulated their data, but too many students came forward. Too many patterns matched. A class action lawsuit was filed within a month. Investigative journalists picked up the scent. Even a state senator launched a congressional inquiry, and amidst it all, I got my score reinstated, privately, with no apology, and a warning to let it go. But it was never about my score anymore. It was about every student they cheated, every Dream they crushed. By summer, over 70,000 students had joined the legal action. The College Board CEO stepped down. A leaked internal memo revealed over $20 million had been made through offshore admissions consulting, code for bribes. Harvard, Princeton, and Stanford all issued statements distancing themselves. New legislation was drafted to create a federal agency regulating standardized testing. As for me? I declined every interview. I never showed my face. Jasmine disappeared off the grid, her site archived, her identity still a mystery, but one morning, I woke up to an anonymous email. One sentence: they don't own futures anymore. You do. I smiled. Sometimes, revenge isn't loud. Sometimes it's quiet, digital, clean, and sometimes, it rewrites the rules. I got into college. Not the Ivy League one I had dreamed of, but one that believed in second chances. Years later, I gave a TED Talk under a fake name. Topic: Why the College Board never wanted you to know the truth. And that's how a glitch became a revolution, because when they erased my score, they accidentally created a storm.